Let me make the announcement. This is the gingerbread wreath class. There was a kit for this class, but you don't have to have the kit to make the wreath. I did post the supply list. I was a little bit late in doing that. I'm sorry, you guys. And I told you where you could get the gingerbread man. But basically, you know, the real reason behind my classes isn't so much the theme. It's showing you how to do the mesh, to do the ribbons, to attach the embellishments. You can do any theme that you want. So, but we just decided to do gingerbread because it was so cute. And Christmas is coming. I know when, you know, people have been making Christmas wreaths for, you know, a couple of months now, but we're just getting done with fall. I'm a little behind. And I have a big craft show coming up next month. So I really need to get moving here. But anyway, I'm not quite sure. Let me just jump back into the group real quick. I just posted, I said, I'm in the class. Where is everybody? Roxy's asking for the link. I already posted the link. Hold on one second here. Let me just respond to her. I already posted it. But here it is again. Roxy's new. We can get a few more people in here. Let's see. Yeah, it's been pouring rain here all day in upstate New York. And cold. I'm finding as I get older, I get colder.
Yeah.
I always know why my mom had like a sweater on 24/7, you know, even in the summer. It must be like an age thing. Hold on a second. I'm just signing in so I can get her the link here. But I did post it. You guys saw it, so I'm not quite sure why she didn't see it. Let's see.
Isn't she in?
Roxy? Hold on a minute.
I see her name, but I don't see her picture.
Oh,
Yeah, her name's up there.
I haven't been looking. Oh, yeah, there's 5 participants here. You're absolutely right. Yep, I see her here. Roxy, can you hear me? Hold on a minute. Let me see if she answered my comment. Oh, let's see. There's always technical trouble the first time. I do see you in the class. The thing of it is that I really can't stop and help people troubleshoot when I'm in the middle of the class, because then I'll be, and there's Terry. Terry's back.
Finally made it.
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes, I restarted it and it worked.
There you go. That's good. That's good. We're trying to get some more people on here. Some people, it's their first time joining, so they're having some technical difficulties. But it will get easier as you go along. But I really want to get started here. Hold on a second here. I think it says Roxy's in here. I don't know why she can't hear me. You'll get the video, and if there's any issues at all, just message me, and we'll fix any issues that you have with Zoom. They're usually really easy to fix. But Connie, don't start yawning now. You're gonna get me started here. So
Sorry,
Terry and
sorry,
Kathy,
I did my swimming, so I'm tired now.
Terry and Kathy, it's your first class. It's your first live class, right?
Right.
Okay, this is Connie. Connie's been with me for a little while. I usually do my classes at 8, but I haven't been sleeping much this week. I have a lot going on. I have a sick friend that had his 4th heart attack. And I'm very worried about him. And it's, you know, so it's kind of really hard to focus on anything else when you have somebody that's sick. But I have to take care of my people. We have to get these classes done. We have to get these wreaths made because we have a lot on the schedule. So Kathy and Terry, what I usually do is, there's not that many people on here live because I did move the time, and that always messes people up, and I'm so sorry. But what I usually do is I mute everybody on my end at the beginning of the class to cut down on background noise. But because we don't have a lot of people and there's really no background noise, I'll just keep it unmuted. So what's nice about doing a class this way instead of a Facebook Live, if you're familiar with Facebook Lives, is that you can ask your questions out loud. You don't have to type them in, and, you know. Victoria's here. Hi, Victoria. I don't know if she can hear me, but we're going to get started. I'm going to move my laptop over now to my other camera. Whoops, I just lost you. Don't panic. I'm going to plug in my other camera so you can see my craft table. And then we're going to get started. So I think I lost Terry. No, Terry, you're still here. Hold on, let me start this up again here. So here we go. So here's my craft table.
I gotta get my coat on, Kiki.
Craft table that I got, my friend made it for me, but boy, is it heavy. And you my little, somebody's got some music going on there.
She said somebody's got some music going on there. It's definitely.
I do like this craft table, but it's very heavy and bulky and hard to set up. So, and I really can't leave it.
This woman is, she teaches you.
All right, hold on. Let me just, I'm just going to mute everybody here. So that way we don't get, hold on 1 second here. To unmute yourself, if you're on your phone or an iPad, just tap your screen and you'll get the controls to come up. You'll see the option to start and stop video, mute, unmute, etc. Very easy. I forgot what I was going to say. Well, it doesn't matter. So I think I already posted the link on how to add pipe cleaners to a wreath frame. This is a Dollar Tree wreath frame. It's 14¼ inches. And I used to use the work wreath frames. The work wreath frames are the ones that you see that already have the pipe cleaners on. And they're pretty awesome, actually. But what you're going to notice is that they're really, really big. It makes a really huge wreath because you can see the Dollar Tree frame is relatively flat. When you get a work wreath frame, it's a lot more domed. So I don't know if I have one handy, but there was a shortage of work wreath frames earlier this year. Everybody was out of them. So I just went and I bought a couple cases of the Dollar Tree frames, and I've been using them ever since. And I really like the way they come out. But there is a video that I posted. I don't know if I posted it under this class listing or another one. But if you go to YouTube and you look up, hey, Michelle. If you go to YouTube and you look up Halo Designs, Haylo, how to make your own work wreath form, she does it the exact same way that I do. So basically, you're going to be adding 10 pipe cleaners to the outer 2 rings, okay? They're about 4½ inches apart. And when I put mine on, and I like the fuzzy ones because they just grip better. Let me just undo this one real quick here. When I put mine on, and I don't like the Dollar Tree ones because I tend to pull on mine and they break. So I think these are from Craft Outlet or Hobby Lobby. I don't remember. So I wrap it around the outer 2, and I pull it really tight. Really tight. And that way, just give it a couple twists, and that way it's on there, and it's not going to be sliding around on you. And I used to add a little bit of hot glue, but that was just too messy. But if you pull it really tight, they're going to stay. So 10 on the outside 2 rings, and then you're going to do 8 on the inside. About 4½ inches apart. And yes, I do measure because I'm crazy. So, and that's going to give you nice coverage for your wreath. So this is a gingerbread class wreath. Now, they didn't have the sign that was in the photo at Hobby Lobby this year, and I was very upset about that because they had it last year. And I called, and I had someone there that was telling me, we're going to get it, we're going to get it. I see it coming in, and then they never got it. So they didn't make that sign this year. They didn't stock it. So everybody had a choice to pick their own sign for the kit. This actually came from Hobby Lobby. I picked the one that says Christmas is sweet, and it's super cute, and it's actually got a little side to it. It's kind of like a little boxy sign. There's another one, I think someone, most of the other people that got the kit, they got the gingerbread wishes and kisses and Christmas wishes, I think it said, but they have a whole section at Hobby Lobby for gingerbread. You know what? Where's the gingerbread man? You know, I got to get him out. He's in my closet. And this is going to be, guys, I got to climb onto my table because I need to get my, actually, you know what? Let me just move my camera really quick. I forgot to get my gingerbread man out of my closet. And my craft room is very small. So actually, I like this view a little bit better. My camera almost fell over. I love my daughter, but I wish she would move out because then I could have her bedroom. And it's so much bigger than mine, my room. Let me just go into my closet. There he is. I knew I forgot to get something out. Sorry, ladies. Let's see. I think I like this view a little bit better. Let me just move this back up a little bit. There we go. My camera doesn't fall over. All sorts of technical difficulties here. There we go. That's better. Okay. This came from Craft Outlet. If you're not familiar with Craft Outlet, everybody shops at Craft Outlet. It's an online store for wreath supplies. And you got his little head, or it could be a girl if you want to put a bow on her head. It could be a girl. She's got little wires on her. He's got wires to help attach to your wreath form. And let's see, these must be the feet. These are the little legs, and they have wires as well. And we got the little hands, and that's going to go on the wreath after we get all our mesh on. Craft Outlet has them, the wreath shop. I don't think you can find something like that in any craft store. I've never seen anything like that. All right, let's see. I went a little bit crazy. I got a bunch of different embellishments for this wreath. Like I said, if you got the kit, you got the mesh, you got the gingerbread man, you got the sign, you got a couple of these lollipops, and honestly, I just went and I bought these for myself today. These came in the kit. Mine are a little bit bigger, but I bought all the ones for the kit. I basically cleaned Hobby Lobby out, and then I forgot to get some for myself. So I just realized I didn't have any for myself today. So I ran back to Hobby Lobby and I grabbed these. These are the bigger. Michelle, you probably got the smaller ones in your kit. These are bigger, but these will work just fine. Aren't these so cute? Little candy, little lollipops. I grabbed a bunch of other little things I might add and I might not. Like I said, I kind of went a little bit crazy. They have a whole gingerbread section at Hobby Lobby. I got these too. These didn't come in the kit, but they are in the photo. These are also from Hobby Lobby. Aren't those so cute? And they came on one big stem, and I just kind of cut them off. I may use them, I may not. Let's see. I don't really like to over-embellish because I like to be able to see my mesh. And you put too much stuff on, you can't see your mesh. So, and I also wanted to show you guys, look at this. This is so cute. This is an ornament. But isn't that so cute? It's like a cookie sheet with little gingerbread men on it. Isn't that just so sweet? I may throw that on, I may not, because it's got the gingham ribbon, and I am going to be using a ribbon that's got gingham in it. And they have these. So like I said, I love gingerbread, and I kind of went a little crazy, these little ornaments here. So don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but I am definitely going to use the lollipops. And I wanted to show you guys, I don't know if you saw on the class schedule, there's a wreath that has a sleigh on it, and it says Noel. That was from Walmart, and they don't have it this year. It's the balsam wreath. Everybody's jumping on here. Cheryl's here. I don't know if you can hear me, Roxy. I'm sorry. We'll figure out what's happening with your Zoom later. Jen is here. Hi, Jamie. They don't have the Noel sled this year, which I was so upset about because it's so cute. But I did pick up this sled from Walmart because I'm like a snowman girl. I love snowmen. So I'm going to be using this sled in that wreath class coming up next month. So just wanted to show you guys how cute that was. But let's get started here. We could sit here and chat, and I can show you all my stuff forever. But then we're not going to get anything done. Okay. Where's my mesh? This is going to be a ruffle wreath. I've done a lot of these before. Hold on, somebody's chatting me here. It must not have sound. Hold on. Whoops. Oh, Roxy can hear fine. The computer does not have a camera or microphone. Good, Roxy, that's fine. As long as you you can hear me. You know, I may not be able to see your chat questions that quickly because I'm busy making my wreath, but I'll try to answer you as soon as I can. Just go ahead and just chat your questions to me. So this is pretty good quality mesh. I think they got this from Craft Outlet. These came in the kit as well. It's 10-inch mesh. It's really pretty. It's got a green, lime green stripe in it. Normally when I do a ruffle wreath, and it's only because I try to not have a lot of waste, I'll do 18-inch pieces, and I'll do 2 per tie. That's going to give you a really full wreath. Now, technically, when you have a 30-foot roll of 10-inch mesh, which is what this is, if you want to do the math, you should be able to get 18 20-inch cuts out of each roll, which would be perfect. It'll give you two 20-inch pieces per tie, but you know, you're going to have a little bit of waste. Your cuts always aren't going to be even. So I always just do 18 just to make sure that I'm going to have enough. So that's my story there. And I love ruffles. So here's what we do. You know what? I want to just make sure that you can see my table and not my laptop so much. It's kind of in the way. Let's push that out of the way. Okay. So we just lay our mesh down. It wants to curl on us. Actually, I'm going to show you this first. What I usually do is I take the very end of it and I fold it over like maybe an inch or so, just so those cut ends get hidden. And then I flip it over and then I just start ruffling it up the middle. You can see how it likes to curl. And that 18 inches may seem like a lot, but we're doing 30-inch ruffles for class on Monday, so 18 inches really isn't a lot. Actually, you know what? This isn't 18 inches. I have to correct myself. This is 30 inches. I'm so sorry. This is a 30-inch piece of mesh. I just totally got confused here. That's why it looks so long to me. This is 30 inches, so you're only going to use one per tie. So that's another way to do a ruffle. If I was going to do 2 ruffles per tie, I do 18 inches. I'm so sorry for confusing you. This is another way to do a ruffle. You cut 30-inch pieces, 10 by 30-inch pieces. Then you're only going to need one of these per tie. I'm so sorry. See what happens when I don't have a Zoom class in so long? So the first one that I lay down, I'm going to lay it down parallel to the wreath form. So again, the nice thing about 30-inch ruffles is that you only need one per tie. Just give it a couple of twists. Oh, this mesh is pretty. That's it. And you're going to see how full that is when we get done. I'm so sorry to confuse everybody. I got to get back on track here. We got class today, we got class tomorrow, we got class Monday, then I'll be good. Okay. I was wondering why this looks so long. So again, just take the end and just fold it under a little bit. I use the wood burning tool to cut my mesh. You know, I'm going to have another camera set up very, very soon. I want you guys to be able to see my face too, but I think it's also very important that you see what I'm doing. So I'm sorry for the back of my head. I use the wood burning tool to cut my mesh because I hate frays, but you're always going to get frays with mesh. I still get some frays with the wood burning tool. But the best advice that I can give you is once you put it on your wreath, leave it alone. The better mesh doesn't fray as much. This is from Craft Outlet, Craig Bachman mesh. I do not like Michael's mesh. It frays terribly. Hobby Lobby too. So typically when I use Michael's or Hobby Lobby mesh, I use it in a poof method or a method where I don't have to cut it because it's just a nightmare. So just fold over the edge just a little bit. Again, I'm ruffling. I'm thinking to myself, wait a sec, this isn't 18 inches. What the heck am I talking about? And then I just sort of fold over the end. You get a nice big ruffle. You just pinch it together. Make sure that when it's in your hand that you have enough on either side before you lay it down. Now don't be tempted to squish down the other piece. You want to lift it up out of the way and then lay your next piece down. Again, just a couple of twists is all you need because you want to have room to put your ribbon on. And you're just going to kind of push it up to make sure that it's not squishing the piece that you just put on. Because that's how you want your ruffles to look. You want them to all be fluffy and facing up. And that is it. Kathy and Terry, I don't know how much experience you have with mesh, but I love ruffles. Basically, you're going to get the same look if you did 2 18-inch pieces as opposed to 1 30-inch. But the reason why this method is kind of nice is because there's less cuts. You don't spend as much time cutting your mesh. If you have problems with your hands, you know, it might be a little bit difficult for you to cut or ruffle a bigger piece of mesh like this. I know some people have some arthritis in their hands, so I can totally understand that. And then in that case, just do two 18-inch pieces. And what you would do is you would lay your first piece down like this, so it's parallel to the wreath form. And then with your second 18-inch piece, you would come back in and just crisscross it. But you'd basically, well, you'd have actually a little bit more mesh. You'd have 36 inches of mesh instead of 30. But see how pretty that is already? You always have to have a good base. And what's important about the way that I'm laying my mesh too, is that if you'll notice, well, with this one, I think it's a little bit different because we're going parallel. You want to be able to have a good spot for your ribbon to lay, because if your ribbon doesn't lay right, it can be very frustrating. And I'll show you what I mean when we get to the ribbon. Let me move this over so you can see me rolling my mesh. I just love this mesh. You can either pull it towards you, just kind of stand in one spot, just ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. Again, just take a look at it in your hand and make sure you've got the same amount on both sides. I do like the poof method, but I just kind of like ruffles. I'm a ruffle girl. I love the way they come out. If I do a method with 21-inch mesh, because I think in the beginning we all sort of, when we were first starting to make wreaths, we all kind of rushed out and bought 21-inch mesh, and then we realized you're kind of limited to what you can do with 21-inch mesh. And then I found this method where you take your 21-inch mesh and you cut it into 10-inch pieces, so 21 by 10-inch pieces. And what you do is you fold it in half. You kind of roll the long piece of mesh, you fold it in half the long way, and then you fold it in half again. So just to pretend this is 21-inch mesh here. This is actually how it would end up, because if you have a long piece of 21-inch mesh and you roll it and you fold it in half, you're going to get 10 and a half. So it's going to be similar in length to this, but what it would look like is you would have a poof on one side and like a spiral on the other. And I love that method for 21-inch mesh. I've done a couple of classes that way, and we'll probably do another one for one of the classes coming up. Because I'm telling you, if you have a lot of 21-inch mesh and you don't like the way your poofs come out, you will love using that method. It's just awesome. I was actually really good today. My son and I went out to New Hartford, which is about 30 minutes from where I live, New Hartford, New York. And we went to Hobby Lobby. We went and had lunch. He brought me to Hobby Lobby. He actually comes in with me. He's the one kid that comes in with me when I go to Hobby Lobby. And I was really good. I got what I needed and I left. I said to myself, I'm not going to browse because I get in trouble when I browse. So no browsing. I was really looking for 21-inch mesh to use in my tomato cage tree. But they just had solid colors, and I want a color like this for my tomato cage tree. I want like a green with a red stripe. Linda's here. I'm not sure what Linda that is. Hi, Donna. I see Donna popped on. I'm kind of looking up to see who's popping on here. You guys can unmute yourself at any time if you have a question. If you're on a laptop or a desktop, just hover your mouse over the bottom of the Zoom box where my picture is, where the video is, and your controls will pop up. And you can mute or unmute yourself. You could start or stop video because I encourage you to ask questions, and that's why I use the Zoom meeting, so you can all ask questions out loud and not have to type them in. And Roxy has to type hers in right now because she doesn't have a microphone. But that's okay. I encourage questions. You can see already, just with that outer row, how full that's getting. I've got a lot of this metallic coming out, and this metallic doesn't usually come out of this craft outlet mesh. But that's okay. Move my mouse out of the way. I'm glad you guys were all able to join me early. I knew by the time 8 o'clock rolled around, I'd be wanting to go to sleep, and I didn't want to have to be tired during class. So I know during the week it's a little bit harder to do a daytime class because we work, everybody works, but I thought, let me see if anybody's available to jump on a little bit early today because it's Saturday. So I'm still going around the outside. And you can see, you really only need one piece of this mesh for tie because it's a very big piece of mesh. Now the new method that we're doing, that everybody's been waiting for, is a method that I actually just saw recently myself. I'm not going to lie and say that I developed it, but it was kind of one of those things where I thought I had seen all the different methods there were to do with mesh until I saw this one. And that one is going to have 35-inch pieces of mesh. That's going to be even longer. But we're not going to be ruffling the whole thing. I don't want to give it away. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I think this is the first Christmas wreath that we're making. We've been so busy trying to finish up fall, and now you see what happened here. My pipe cleaner is sliding. So now I just need to kind of tighten it up. I can't stand when it slides. So pull it really tight. And there you go. I do not like it to slide. Now I got to ruffle this again because it got all messed up. You know, a lot of people use the Bodabra to hold their mesh ruffles. Like if you're doing, there's a bunch of different ways you can do a ruffle. You can do 10-inch cuts, so 10 by 10-inch cuts. If I did 10 by 10-inch cuts, I would do 3 per tie. 18-inch cuts, I do 2 per tie. 30-inch cuts, I do 1. But if you're doing a method where you have several pieces of mesh that you're attaching to one tie, I've seen a lot of people take their Bodabra and just put their first piece down in there that they ruffled or that they curled if they're making curls, and it holds it while they do the other pieces instead of trying to, you know, hold it under your arm like I just did. I had a Bodabra. I have no idea where it went. No clue. So here I am having this stress this week because of my friend that's not feeling well. He's in the hospital with heart issues. And so what do? I watched this show on Netflix called The Haunting of Hill House. And then I can't sleep. It's really scary. I don't know if you guys like scary stuff. And I'm not, you know, I'm not a little lightweight when it comes to horror movies and, you know, scary shows. Whoops. That one just popped out. But this was a Netflix series, and it's based on a book that was written, I believe, in the 60s or 70s, maybe. The Haunting of Hill House. Just very scary. If you want something scary to watch this Halloween, that's the ticket. So basically, all that happened there was it just popped out of my pipe cleaner. So we're going to stick it back in there. Don't be afraid to pull on your pipe cleaner. If you have the fuzzy ones, like I said, I think I got these from Craft Outlet, but you can get the fuzzy ones from Hobby Lobby. Walmart has them. I feel that they just hold better. They grab a hold of your wreath form better than the tinsel-y ones that you see at the Dollar Tree. I'll use those in a pinch, but they don't hold as good. You can see as we're getting to the middle of our roll, it really wants to curl on you, but again, just take your time. If you want to maybe lay your phone down or something to hold it up here while you're ruffling it, I've seen people use their wire cutters, they use their phone, they use their remote. When you have a long piece of mesh like that, sometimes you need a little bit of help. So this is the last one on the outside. You're probably not going to use the whole 2 rolls, but I've been known to add more pipe cleaners and more mesh. If I feel like if I have some left over, because I don't like to have leftover mesh. This is a pretty thick mesh. It's not a wide foil, but it's kind of thick. Now, if you have a thinner mesh and you add your 18 pieces to the, your wreath form, and you're finding that, you know what, this doesn't look like it's covering very well, go ahead and throw another pipe cleaner in and just add more. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if you have some left over. This is a thicker mesh, so I'm probably not going to have to do that. So that's just the outside. Look how pretty that is. But I've done that a lot. All you got to do is find a space where you have a gap or whatever, throw another pipe cleaner in, and just put my mesh. Let me just get a drink here. And you're good to go. So I'm not sure how many pieces I have left on this first roll. I'm just going to keep using it. And we're going to go on the inside. You can actually start on the inside if you want to. It really doesn't matter. I'm just used to starting on the outside. So, and I like when my mesh has lines, because I just kind of follow a little line, this little line in the middle, and it helps me keep my ruffle even. You guys are very quiet tonight. Let's just go on the inside. We're going to go parallel to the wreath form again. You're going to find that the inside might be a little more challenging, not in a bad way, but only because the mesh likes to stick to itself. So just now, and it's sticking to me too. This probably should not have been a wise choice of a shirt to wear. You're going to find out when you're working with mesh that there are some shirts you can wear and some shirts you can't. So all I'm doing right now is just making sure that my ruffle is pulled up and facing up and not laying down weird. Just fluff it up here. So they're all fluffy and they're facing up. That's how you want it to look. This is my last piece, and I don't think I even cut it off the roll because it wasn't quite 30 inches. So I'm just going to leave that on there, and I'll go to my next roll here. Yes, Michelle, we do need that sign. You're so funny when you commented on that post. There was a rose gold wreath that somebody posted in my other group, my Need to Wreath group, and I'm sure if you're familiar with the fact that I also have the free group Need to Wreath, as well as this one. And then I have Wreath and Craft Addicts United. If you haven't joined that one, that's another group that I just started a couple months ago, just because I felt like I needed to start another group and just give myself more to do. But the basis behind that the group, the Wreath and Craft Addicts United, is because it's for all crafts. It's not just wreaths. You can post embroidery, you can post crocheting, painting. And that one's just taken off too. That one's got over 5,000 members, and it's only been a couple of months. But anyway, this lady posted this wreath in Need to Wreath, and it was a nutcracker wreath, but it was all done in rose gold and pinks and, gold, and just really, really gorgeous. And she had this beautiful sign, and it was a rose gold or pink sign, and it just said, what is that coming out? It just said believe, and it was just so pretty. And we are doing a rose gold wreath next month. So Michelle says, we need that. And the girl that made the wreath is like, I'm so happy you like my wreath. And I kind of had to say, well, we love your wreath, but we were actually thinking about how we need the sign for our class. So, because it was really pretty. The at-home store has a lot of rose gold. I don't know if you guys have an at-home store near you. I like how they have everything sort of divided by section, or by color, I'm sorry. They have all, say, why does this keep popping out on me? I'm not twisting it tight enough. Hold on a second here. Every time I go to fluff it, it wants to pop out. There we go. Stay. There. See what happens when it's not later in the evening? I'm like chatting away because I'm more awake. You guys can unmute yourself, right? Did I give you the capability to unmute yourself? Hold on a second here. All right, I unmuted everybody. Is anybody going to talk, or are we all just going to watch?
I'm watching for right now.
Who is that, Kathy?
Yeah,
What do you think, Kathy?
I like it. I'm dying because I decorate my house in gingerbread, so I gotta watch this one.
You got to go to Hobby Lobby. They have a whole gingerbread section.
I've got about 4 boxes of stuff in my room in here.
Oh, there you
I
go.
use every year for Christmas, so
I love gingerbread too. I mean,
I've got all kind of
are you a
ornaments.
member of the other group there, the Wreath and Craft Addicts United? Are you a member of that group?
No, I need to join. I didn't know you had that one.
Yeah, that one's mine too. If you join that, the cover photo in that group is actually there's actually a gingerbread wreath that I made last year, but it doesn't have the gingerbread head or the arms or legs. It's got a really cute sign that I got from Jane's Front Door Decor, and she has it
Yeah,
again
Cracker
this year.
Barrel used to carry a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
And
I heard that too.
Years.
The
All
closest
the
one,
peppermint
the closest
plates
one
and-
next to, the closest Cracker Barrel next to me is an hour away, so I don't really get out there that often. But Hobby Lobby's got a lot of gingerbread stuff, though. I just unmuted everybody because I'm lonely. I want you guys to talk to me. I need a break from talking. Michelle, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What are you doing, my dear?
I am lying on my bed with a migraine.
Oh, I'm so sorry, honey.
That's all right.
Talk, and you're still watching. Aw. Migraines are terrible. I know. When my kids were little, and that was a while ago, because my son is 27 now, but every time it was that time, and you know what I'm talking about, I would get hit with a migraine. And it was just awful, all day. And my daughter now, who's 25 and living in Colorado, gets them. But she refuses to go to the doctor. She's afraid of doctors. She's afraid they're going to find something wrong with her, like seriously wrong. And I said, honey, you got to get help. She misses work. And I tell her, you're going to grow out of it, hopefully like I did. But they're bad. I'm so sorry, honey. All right, I'll mute everybody again. I don't want to make you guys talk. Well, you guys are quiet now. Nobody's playing TV or there's no dogs barking or anything. So as long as there's no noise, I won't mute you guys again. So.
I love how full that wreath is.
Isn't it?
It's beautiful. Is that the 10 by 30, right?
This is the 10-inch mesh. Yeah. 10-inch mesh. Just cut the mesh into 30-inch pieces. This mesh was from Craft Outlet. Are you familiar with Craft Outlet, Kathy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I've already placed 2 big orders.
Are you the one that just said you like this mesh, or was that someone else? I didn't recognize your voice.
It was
It was
Donna.
probably someone else, but I have some of
Hi,
that.
Donna.
Hello.
You guys got to say this is so-and-so, because I don't know whose voice is who. There's only a certain people's voices I recognize, and those are the girls that have been with me for a while.
Sorry.
So, that's okay. Donna, does Craft Outlet deliver to Canada or no?
They do. I've ordered once and I will be ordering again.
There you go. How's the shipping, though?
Pretty good, actually. It was only, I think, 4 days.
I mean, can you still get the free shipping if you do the $69, or does that apply for Canada?
No.
That sucks.
And I didn't have to pay duty because I was under the, what I've read, 240 mark.
$240?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How much is that usually, the duty fees?
I don't know. I've heard other people talking.
Uh-huh.
And they've said that whenever they placed an order over 200, that they've paid close in duty to what they paid for their order.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
So.
Jeez. So you lucked out.
See, I'm in Louisiana. I wish they had a warehouse because I could just go pick it up because they're only like an hour from me.
I know, that stinks.
It's only Baton Rouge, right?
Yeah, they're in Baton Rouge, and I live maybe about 45 minutes from there.
Mhm.
I was hoping they would have had one in Bangor because my son is there this weekend on a bowling tournament. And I got all excited, but there's none.
Bangor, Maine?
Yes.
Oh. You know what I wish I had up here? All you ladies in the South, if any of you are from the South, you have old time pottery. And I would love to.
Yeah, I don't have one near me, and I'm from the South, about as south as you go, Louisiana.
There's another one too. There's old time pottery, and there's another one. I can't think of the name of it. Sims Pottery is a wholesaler though. So, but there's another one I can't think of. Everybody talks about Ellis Home and Garden. Aren't they in Louisiana too, or no?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. But I always use Craft Outlet. If I need stuff, like I buy all my mesh normally from Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop, because the Wreath Shop also uses Craig Bachman mesh. This is Craig Bachman mesh. That's the wholesaler that makes this mesh, and it's really the best quality. You know, I can't tell you enough. It's just, you know, I will buy Hobby Lobby mesh in a pinch or Michaels, but only, again, if I'm going to be using it in a method that I don't have to cut it, because it's very thin. I'm trying to get this to. Now, it also depends a lot on the type of mesh. So, like I bought, let me just show you what I bought for the other wreath that we're doing Monday with the new method. I actually bought this mesh from Hobby Lobby. Isn't that so pretty? This is actually a fabric mesh, okay, but it's got some metallic in it. So fabric mesh is nice. It's very soft. It's not hard on your hands, and it's thicker. So I did get this from Hobby Lobby. So not all mesh is bad from Hobby Lobby. I don't want to say that. It just depends on the kind that you're getting. Fabric mesh is nice. I like fabric mesh. I'm trying to move this over because I feel like you can't really see what I'm doing, but. Yeah, this makes a very, very full wreath. So does the other method that I was telling you about with the 21-inch mesh. But the thing you have to be careful about is you do want fullness, but you don't want it so full that when you go to lay your ribbon, you know, your ribbon won't lay right. If you have it, if it's too poofy, your ribbon's not going to lay
I forgot she was doing the gingerbread class tonight. Dang it.
Who is that? Who just said that?
That was me, Cindy Allen. I'm here in Texas and got the time frame mixed up.
Well, Cindy, you know, I was going to have class at 8, and I'm so sorry. I normally do have class at 8, but I posted in the group, you know, this morning. I asked if everybody would mind if I moved the class up. So I'm sorry if I messed you up.
No, not your fault. I just forget about the time change.
Okay. But you'll get the video too, honey, so don't worry.
Okay, great. Thanks.
You're very welcome. Boy, a lot of people are jumping on here. I'm so happy. I'm going to be asleep by 8 o'clock, just so you guys know. I might be asleep. I've been waking up in the middle of the night lately because I'm worried about my friend and, you know, hold on a second. I tend to get lost sometimes in the middle because it just starts to get so full that I forget where I left off. Now, again, if you have a thinner mesh and you feel like you're not getting good enough coverage, which you should because you've got big pieces of mesh here. But if you have some mesh left over, which you probably will, I know I will, there's absolutely nothing wrong with going in and adding some more pipe cleaners and throwing some more mesh in. I've done that many, many times. You look at it and you say, geez, you know, I can see my wreath form. It, you know, doesn't, you know, it's not covering very well. think I actually got all my pieces in here. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss any. Let me see. Yep, I think I got them all. I didn't miss any. Yep. So this is it. I do have some left over. I hate having leftover mesh, but I don't really need to add any more because it's very full. You can see how full that is. Very pretty. I love this mesh.
It is very nice.
Isn't that pretty? I love ruffles. They make me happy. Ruffles make me happy. Okay, so normally what I do before I add my ribbon is I put my sign or centerpiece on, and then I add my ribbon, because I'm not going to add a bunch of ribbon to the middle and then have it get covered and squished by my sign. I feel like that's a waste of ribbon. Why put the ribbon on if you're going to cover it up? So we have a couple of different things we're going to do, because we have our gingerbread man. We get all of his little pieces here. And then we have our sign that we're going to put in the middle too. So now if you want him to be a man, you can leave him like that. If you want him to be a girl, you can maybe do a little bow. I'm not really sure how I would attach a bow though, unless I hot glued it, but maybe I'll do that later. I don't think I'm going to need his top wire. I think the two on the bottom are going to be enough, but let's just see where I want to place this. Because I want the sign to go in the middle. I'm going to kind of put his head right on the very top of the mesh here. So you've got your wires. And I always tell people this is like the most challenging part of doing a wreath, is getting your centerpiece attached. But it's very light. I hate heavy signs because they slide and they're difficult. I'm not going to tie it too tight just yet. I'm wrapping it around the wires of the form. I want to make sure that he's positioned to where I want him to be before I tighten it. And I don't think I'm going to need the top wire. I might snip that off because it's not heavy. He's not heavy, so I don't think I'm going to need that top wire on his head. I'm going to warn you guys right now that when I add my ribbon, it's kind of slow going because I'm very particular when I add my ribbon. So I'm just going to add I'm going to mute everybody here. Just make sure that you know how to find your unmute button in case you have a question. So let me go ahead and pull this side through now. Just wrap it around my wreath form. You can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just wrapping the wires around the back of his head. Wait a minute. What was I wrapping? It came off. How'd that happen? Let's see. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. I think I was wrapping it. I wasn't wrapping it around anything. Hold on. That was very strange. Here we go. You can twist those tighter when you're done. You just want to make sure that the head's positioned. That keeps coming off on me. See, I'm purposely not tying it tight. And it's coming off. So hold on. Yeah?
This is Bridget.
Hi.
Hi, I just wanted to pop in and tell everybody hi.
Because you just got done at a craft show, right?
No, we had the fall festival at church, and then we had to pick up a couple of things. So
it's your birthday?
No, we had the fall festival.
Oh, I thought you said it was your birthday too.
No. And then we just stopped by Walmart to pick up a couple of things, and I thought I'd pop in and say hi to everybody.
Hi, honey. I'm sorry I messed you up by having class early.
That's okay. No big deal. I can do the video. Let me get a to check out, but tell everybody hi.
All right, honey. Thank you. It was nice to have you pop it in. Have a good night.
You too. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bridget's such a sweetheart. Okay, I actually did end up using the top wire that was on the back of his head because what was happening is his head was popping forward a little bit. just by using the 2 bottom wires. So I went ahead and I used the wire that was on the back of his head also, and I just fed it through the wreath form. And when you're content with where it's situated, then you can go ahead and just tighten it a little bit more. You don't want to pull it in too far because you don't want it to squish your mesh too much. And then you can cut off those pieces after. So there's the first part. If you have, I'm probably not going to be able to put ribbon. You can see the tie sticking up on the inside here because his body's going to be in the way. So I may have to snip those off. If you have ties that you're not going to be using, you can either just kind of push them down inside or you can snip them off. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using those yet, so I'm not going to snip them off just yet. I don't think I am because, hold on a second here. It's starting to come off. You can snip them off or you can just kind of fold them off and push them behind, fold them down rather. All right, so there's his head. Okay, now what do we have here? Got a lot of people. Robbie just jumped on. Hi, Robbie. Robbie's new. Let's see, okay. These are his feet. I'm going to do his hands first, I think. So he's got just one little wire on his hands. So separate those like that. And again, don't tighten it yet until you're sure it's positioned the way you want it to be. Just wrap it right around the 2 wire or the wire of the wreath frame. Whoops. So we kind of have his hands kind of going up like that. I don't want this tag on. Let me cut this tag on. This mesh is sticking to me like crazy. And the mesh kind of helps hold it in place too. All this metallic is coming out. It usually doesn't do that. I hate that. The mesh is going to kind of hold your pieces in place too. There's his hands. I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Trying to see if they're even. It's kind of hard for me to see. I'm looking at my laptop and I'm looking at the camera. That'll work. Doesn't have to be perfect again, like I said. Now we got to get his feet. This is a process here. I'm gonna put his little feeties on. Now here's the thing. I want to make sure I'm going to position it in a way the sign's going to go in the middle. Yeah, like that. Just want to make sure that I position his feet properly here. And I'm getting caught on my mesh. Again, you know, these pieces are so light. They really shouldn't give you a hard time when you're attaching them. Boy, it got really warm in here. Whew. It's been freezing all day. And now I'm warm. There's one leg. Leg or feet? The last piece. I gotta go turn that heat down. I'm like sweating in here. Whew. Yeah, we have the heat on in upstate New York. I'm not quite sure where you guys are, but it's cold up here today. Hold on, I'm caught on my mesh, my little piece here. Ah, went right through my mesh, and now it's caught. Hold on 1 second. There's like a little hook on the end. There we go. And it went through the mesh, and it caught it. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Everybody's falling asleep while I try to attach my gingerbread man here. All right. There. That doesn't look too bad. Then we put the sign in the middle. Hold on 1 second, ladies. I gotta turn this heat down before I die. You spending the night somewhere? Oh, are you spending the night? You don't know? All right, bye. I'm doing a class.
I came to visit. There's bad car battery died.
Oh, I know, I heard.
Who told you?
Nick.
No, the guy's car battery died, and it's not the battery because we tried to jump it and it didn't work. It's this alternator. His car's stranded and he doesn't know what to do.
Oh,
She's like
jeez.
freaking out because nothing's open until Monday.
Oh. Sorry, guys. I'm saying goodbye to my daughter. She's headed out for the night. She had news to tell me. So there we go. That looks pretty good. And we're going to put our sign on. Now, what I usually do for my signs, this isn't really very flat, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. What I do with my signs, I have these nifty little things. I'm not sure if you ladies have seen these before. These are called cable tie mounts. You can find them by the cable ties. These are kind of tiny. I think I got these online, but the ones that you can typically find at Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot are 1 inch by 1 inch. I think these are like 3/4 by 3/4. But you can see they have little holes. There's a little hole in the middle for you to put your pipe cleaner through, and it's self-adhesive. So you pull the little backing off. Sometimes what I do is I'll put a little dollop of hot glue, not hot glue, excuse me, super glue, just to add extra protection, but I think this is going to be okay. And depending on how heavy your sign is, you can't see, but I just kind of stuck it onto the back of my sign there. Depends on how many you want to add. If you have a heavier sign, you know, you may want to add 4, 1 in each corner. But this is relatively light. Just make sure it's on there, pressed on there really good.
Christine.
And I did this to myself again. My pipe cleaners are in my bin over there and I can't get to my bin. So hold on a second here. I have my emergency pipe cleaner stash in my closet. I have so many pipe cleaners, it's crazy. So you just get a couple of pipe cleaners. Yeah?
I have a question about those mounting bases.
These, okay.
I bought some at Home Depot about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've been using them. I love them. But I've had 3 comebacks where my signs have fallen off. And I did put glue in behind just in case.
The super glue?
Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, I would use super glue. Was it a heavy sign?
2 were, 2 weren't.
Yeah. And they fell off of all of them?
Yes. And
Yeah, it might have been the Gorilla Glue. I would use super glue, in all honesty. I've never had an issue with them coming off. I'm so sorry.
Donna,
Yes.
this is Connie Leitner.
Hi.
Hi. I was told by someone that used them that they actually take off all the adhesive off the back and just glue it.
Oh, good to know.
You peel the adhesive right off?
Yep, because they said, you know, when you pull the paper off to use the adhesive, sometimes the adhesive is what's pulling it off. And that's why it doesn't stay. So they've been taking off the adhesive and just gluing the square right on there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And they use either Gorilla or E6000.
I hate
the E6000 I don't have access to.
Yeah, I hate the smell of that anyway. It's terrible. In my opinion.
I'm lucky I can do it outside, so I don't smell that.
Yeah, but you know what I did? I had a wreath that I sold to somebody in Florida, and I used the E6000 to attach the sign, and it literally took days before the smell went away. And I had it outside. This was a few months ago when it, summer. I had it outside, and it was just terrible.
Wow, I've not had that issue.
I don't know if I'm maybe buying the wrong kind, but the kind I have really smells bad. So you can see I put my little. I've never had the.
I have a question about those wreath enhancements, like that gingerbread. How well do those things hold up outside?
I wouldn't let them get wet.
Rain in Louisiana.
No, I wouldn't let them get wet because they're fabric. They're not plastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't let them get wet. I'd have them, in a covered area. Oh, cute! I love when I put my centerpiece on and it comes out nice. That's honestly, ladies, this is the most stressful part of wreath making for me, is making sure my centerpiece goes on and it's straight and it's not crooked. And there's been so many times where I put a sign on and I stand it up and it slides and I want to cry. Cute.
That looks good.
It is cute.
I kind of wanted his little hand a little closer to the sign, but I think that'll be all right. His hands are kind of like sticking up out of the mesh. I don't want, see, I'm trying to cover up the ending so you can't really see. Yeah, like that. I'm trying to cover up the end piece of his hand with the mesh so you can't see the end. And my daughter's trying to talk to me about her friend's car died and it's the battery. I'm like, I'm in a class. Well, I just want to tell you, she says. No, I can't really talk right now. Text me later. So that's what I want to do, is just kind of cover up his little ending of his hand here. So you can't really see. So as long as those are covered, you're good. So there's that, and it looks super cute. Now we can put some ribbon on. Now, I'm not going to really put any ribbon on the inside because I can't. There's no place to put it because I've got all this stuff going on. Maybe I'll put a couple of pieces here and there if I can find my pipe cleaners. Like here's a pipe cleaner here. I can put some ribbon on. It's not covered. Let me see if this one. No, I can't put any on that one. I'm trying to see if maybe I have one over here. Is it whenever you have a lot going on in the center, you kind of lose your pipe cleaners. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to put any ribbon on that side. But I can put ribbon all the way around the outside, on the outer bars. So that's what I'm going to do. I love the way that looks. I like to frame my wreath with ribbon. That's how I start. And I got some really super cute ribbon here. Now, typically, let me move my lollipops. Typically, I do 2.5 inch, and 2 1.5. But the patterns that I picked this time, I ended up with 3 2.5 inch and 1 1.5. But we're going to make it work. It's going to be okay. So you kind of have to decide which ones you want to go together. So I think I'm going to put this really pretty lime and red stripe with the lime and red polka dot. So it's a 1.5 and a 2.5. And I just had to put these 2 ribbons together because the super cute gingerbread ribbon and then this, because they both have the gingham. So these are going to go together, even if though they're both 2.5, it's okay. We'll make it work. So just lay them on top of each other. And just fold it in half to get your center and pinch. And again, I love the way the wreath looks framed with ribbon. So I always do the outside. Now, if I didn't have so much going on in the middle, I'd be able to add a lot of ribbon to the middle too. So just find your first tie on the outside. Place it in and separate it. Well, that doesn't look too bad. It's stuck to my mesh here. And I like all my ribbon on the outside all facing out. You can't really see it because it's what's in the way, but I am a little particular when it comes to my ribbons, so I play with it a little bit. Now, what I also do is I cut some, these are cut at 12 inches. I also cut some extra pieces at 13. I like to add a little bow tie. Typically I do that with the 1.5, but it does work with the 2.5 too. So let me find my longer pieces here, and these aren't dovetailed. These are 13 inches. I used to cut my ribbon at 14, but then I decided it was just too long. I don't like to totally cover up my mesh with ribbon, especially when I have a really pretty mesh like this. So 12 inches works for me. So you take your 13-inch piece that's not dovetailed, you kind of overlap it. I think you guys have seen this before if you've been in my classes before. And you pinch it in the middle. You make yourself a pretty little bow. You're going to place that right on top of your bundle. Just like that. I just love that. I'm not a big bow person. I don't put a lot of bows on my wreaths. Now the grapevine one that we're making tomorrow, I'm going to put a bow on that. But typically I just don't like to cover up my wreath with a bunch of bows. Now you're going to have a little bit of pipe cleaner left on there. You can either snip that off or you can just kind of wrap it around behind. And it's the same color. You can see that. So it's really not going to, it's red. And that's it. That's how my little bundles are going to look all around the outside. But we're going to alternate, obviously. We're going to alternate our colors of ribbon and our patterns. So the next one I'm going to do is the 1.5 inch striped, which I kind of found out is different on either side. But I think I like this side better. It's more sparkly with this one. Just kind of pinch it in the middle again. Very easy. I used to be really bad at putting ribbon on and picking out ribbon when I first started, but it gets easier. I get a lot of inspiration from other people too, obviously. You know, you look and you see what colors work and what don't work. And there's been many times where I've had a bunch of ribbon cut and I ended up not using it because I didn't like the way it looked once I got it on the wreath. So if you're unsure and you've got ribbon and you're cutting it, and you're not sure how it's going to look, you have some different patterns or colors to choose from, just put it on. If it doesn't look right to you, use something else. That's all. You'll know right away if it's going to look right with what you're using. This metallic keeps coming out. It's driving me crazy. So I kind of like to curl it under. So it's framing the outside of the wreath. You kind of lift it up with your hand under there and just kind of curl it under. if you can see that. This is why I said why sometimes you don't really want your wreath to be too poofy, because then your ribbon won't lay right. So just, but that's good enough. Just like that. And now I'm going to take my 1.5 that I did not dovetail. If I can find those pieces somewhere. I'm going to lay my ribbon on my chair. You know, I feel like even though I got a bigger table, I still don't have enough room. Take my bigger 13-inch piece that's not dovetailed. We're going to do the same thing. Make your little bow tie and put it right on top. That one's a little bit long. I think I'm going to snip that one off. Just make sure you have it twisted enough before you snip it so you don't lose your ribbon. And there's that one. And that's it. I'm just going to keep going all the way around. We'll go back to our gingham. It doesn't really matter which one you lay on the top because you're going to separate them anyway. Find your next tie. I always put ribbon in every tie on the outside. Again, I don't typically put it in every tie on the inside. It really depends on what I have going on. If I have a big centerpiece like I do here, we've got the wreath attachment and we have the sign, there may not really be a lot of room to add a bunch of ribbon. And we'd have to kind of see, because I covered up a lot of the ties with the sign and the gingerbread man, so I'm not even going to be able to find the ties. So there's that one. It doesn't really matter which one you use to make your bow tie, but you would want to use one of the ribbons that you have down there already. Obviously, don't pick a different pattern because that'll just look weird. Use the one of the ones that's already being used. And it's a nice way, if you have trouble making bows, it's a nice way to add some little bows to your wreath without, doing something big and complicated. Now, I have a pro bow, but I never really could get the hang of it. My bows just never really came out the way I wanted them to. So I also really wasn't very good at making hand-tied bows, but I've gotten better. It really just does take practice. There's a video on YouTube by Dorothy Barksdale. She makes gorgeous wreaths. The name of her business is Dottie Dot's Bubbly Creations, and I can probably even post that in the group, but she's got a really great video on how to make a hand-tied bow, and she goes very slow, and that's really the ticket. Just go slow. But again, if you have problems with your hands, the Pro Bow isn't the only bow maker out there. In fact, I've seen Damon from Deco Exchange use the Easy, is it the Easy Bow Maker, I think it's called?
That's what I have.
The Easy Bow Maker?
Yeah.
How does that one work?
It's okay for a single one. I mean, I'm like you, I can't make nice big bows.
Uh-huh.
So I like doing your little bows, your little add-ons.
I know, I love these.
I have
so easy. Anybody can do them. What's that?
I have the Bodabra and the Pro Bowl bow.
Uh-huh.
And I do good on the Pro Bow. They come out really nice.
Uh-huh. You know what I think my problem is with the Pro Bow? Because I don't really have any room to leave it out all the time. I don't have the space. So I'm too lazy to get it out of the box and set it up. So I just don't, I know that's ridiculous. So I just don't use it. I know it's silly.
Christina?
Yeah?
I have to step away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, honey. Thank you for letting me know. It's very sweet of you.
Well, just in case somebody would ask something or...
Okay. I just love the way you'll see when we're done how the ribbons just frame the outside of the wreath, and it's just gorgeous. I just love it. I definitely have a ribbon problem. I wish I could show you guys what's stacked behind my camera over here. My kids bought me a new desk because I do work from home. I have a work from home job as well. And they bought me a brand new desk. And all I did was I just used to stack my mesh and my ribbon on. I'm still using my old desk. It's stacked. I actually have to, I was making some calls yesterday. I want to get a storage unit because the only storage I have here right now is my basement. And it isn't really very dry. And so I think I'm going to get a storage unit just to store my craft items that I'm not using, like my seasonal stuff, because I'm running out of room here. And then I also saw, we went out to eat the other day, and we went next to a storage shed place, and they had the cutest little sheds. I would love to have a she shed. I would love that. All right, let me get my non-dovetailed, meaning the edges are not cut. Nobody knows what that means. I'm sure you guys know what that means. That's a dovetailed piece. That's a non-dovetailed piece. These are what you're going to use to make your little bow ties. I just love this gingham ribbon. I love it so much. You know, it's funny because when my kids were little, we're talking a long time here, ladies. Like I said, my son's 27. I have a 25-year-old daughter that lives in Colorado, and I have a 24-year-old daughter that I was just talking to a little while ago that still lives with me. And when they were little, I used to make a lot of wreaths. Now, this is before deco mesh and all this stuff was even around. I used to make Christmas wreaths, and I would make grapevine wreaths. And I could make a pretty mean bow. I'm not really quite sure what happened to my bow making skills over the years. I don't really know what happened. And I don't think I used a bow maker. I can't remember. I may have. I'm getting old. I can't remember things as good as I used to. I think I'm going to snip that piece off too. It's a little long. There. Okay. I can't believe October 31st is coming up. It's going to be November soon. Holy moly. Okay, there's that one. It does take me a little while to get all the way around, ladies. I'm slow when I'm adding my ribbon. I'm sorry. Anybody feel free to chime in if you have a story to tell or a good joke or something, or what'd you guys have for dinner? Anything good? Or maybe you haven't had your dinner yet because we started class early. It's like dark outside already, so I'm like, wait a minute.
Do you know what city chicken is?
City chicken?
Yeah.
No, it sounds good though.
Well, that's what we had. My husband made it. It's pork cut up in cubes and then dredged in Italian breadcrumbs and seasonings and baked. And it's on a stick.
Ooh, so it's not really chicken.
It's not really chicken. It's why it's city chicken. It's pork.
Ah, is that something that's like native to your area, or I've never heard of that before?
Well, we're from the Binghamton area, and it was very popular in that area.
I'm only 2 hours. I'm only 2 hours from Binghamton. How come I've never heard of city chicken?
I know. Well, just like Speedies. Do you have Speedies?
And we have chicken. Yeah, we have Speedies, and we have chicken riggies too. I'm sure you've heard of chicken riggies, right?
No.
Really?
Really? What's that?
Chicken riggies is a Utica thing. Utica's got a very big Italian population, and it's about 30 minutes from me. Chicken riggies, all it really is I make them so good. I'm getting hungry now. You just take a little garlic and olive oil, saute it. You add peppers, like sweet peppers. I usually use the red, and then you get the cherry peppers, and you add a couple of those, depending on how hot you want it. You chop them up. And then chicken broth, maybe a couple cups of chicken broth. That's like the base of your sauce. And then some tomato sauce and seasonings and everything. And then you boil your rigatoni pasta. And then you just add a little heavy cream.
Ooh.
Delicious. You can add a little wine if you feel so inclined too. But that's just a Utica thing, chicken riggies. Just like Utica greens. Have you heard of greens before?
Nope.
all it is fried escarole. Fried escarole with a little bit of prosciutto. And listen to me, I'm Ukrainian. I was married to an Italian for 14 years. A little bit of prosciutto and cherry peppers and yum. It's a Utica thing.
That sounds okay. Yeah, the only place I've been in Utica is the brewery.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and the Irish pub across the street from it, they had really good food.
The Celtic Harp? Celtic
Yes.
Harp, I think it's called. Yeah, I haven't been there in years.
Yep, it was very good.
When were you in Utica, Miss Connie?
It was 2 years ago. Our daughter took us up for her dad's Father's Day gift when we went up in August.
Oh, nice.
So the brewery was actually not doing tours that day. And when she said, but I called you and I brought him for Father's Day, they gave us a private tour.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to go on tours of the brewery when I was a little girl. That's how long they've been doing that. And we used to get root beer at the end.
Yep. We always took our kids and we did that too. Me and the kids had root beer and my husband and everybody else had the beer.
I want to go do that again. I got to tell my kids I want to do that again now.
Yeah, it was fun.
Now it's Saranac. It's a Saranac brewery. I don't know if it was Saranac when you were there. It used to be Utica Club.
Right.
Utica Club Brewery. I can't say brewery. It's one of those words that just doesn't want to come out of my mouth correctly.
Right.
Brewery.
And we have the mugs, Schultz and Dooley, and the cup. We collected them when we went every year.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then we have turkey joints. Has anybody ever heard of a turkey joint before? Not an actual turkey joint from a turkey. It's a candy.
Nope.
That's something that's native to actually Rome, where I live. And years ago, when my mom was young, 30s, 40s maybe the 40s. She was born in 1928, so she's passed away. But there used to be a little candy shop downtown. It was called Candyland. And they would make these turkey joints. And it's hazelnut and chocolate. And it's like enrobed in this like glistening like candy shell. Really yummy. And they look like turkey joints, so that's why they call them that. And she said she remembers when she worked there, they would come right off the machine. They were still warm and soft because they get hard. They harden and they're kind of crunchy. Oh my God, so yummy. All right, we gotta stop talking about food, ladies, because I'm getting hungry now.
You need to come to Louisiana.
I want to get some. What's etouffee? What is that? That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of that.
Yes, it's kind of like a red gravy. It's thickened stuff, and it's got like you can get shrimp, catfish, or like I said.
And I have never had.
It's basically mostly Italians. In the city I live, but New Orleans is only like an hour from. You got to get some pralines and some beignets. All those beignets.
Now who is this talking? I'm sorry, I don't recognize your voice.
Kathy. This is Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. I've never had jambalaya and I've never had gumbo.
As I said, we're kind of a mixture of Spanish, French, all kind of Cajun, all kind of people here. We have all kinds of stuff.
I love your accent.
Thank you. Like I said, New Orleans has French Quarter, and they're famous for the beignets. Those things are to die for.
The little fried dough things?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, covered with
Is
powdered
there
sugar.
like a shop in New Orleans that's really popular for them?
Yeah, Cafe de Monde.
Yeah. Yep. All right, if I come to New Orleans, you gonna let me stay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
What?
Every time we go to New Orleans, we have to go get those beignets. Oh, that's right.
You're killing me.
What are they called again?
Beignets, Beignets.
Yeah.
It's a French term.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is my best friend is going for her 50th birthday next month.
Oh,
to
really?
Louisiana. Yeah, New
Yeah,
Orleans.
the French Quarter, down there in the French Quarter. They have a nice Catholic church down there that you can go tour that has all kind of things in it. Like I said, the whole French Quarter is just nothing but like shops. And they have like a praline shop. They have all kind of things down there, fish, seafood places, because it's known for seafood.
Now, if you guys notice when someone else is talking that I disappear, don't worry. What happens is if you're new to Zoom, Zoom defaults to something called speaker view. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kathy, but I just wanted to explain what was happening. And I wish it didn't, because I encourage everyone to talk during class, but it just kind of happens that when someone else is talking, the camera isn't on me anymore. It goes to the person that's talking. And if they don't have their webcam on, you're just going to get a blank screen, or a black screen, I should say. There's nothing wrong with your video. I'm still here, but just that's what's happening. And I've called Zoom so many times, and I said, listen, I said, I don't want to discourage people from talking in class, but when they talk, I disappear. That's not good. People need to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm thinking about maybe switching to a different video.
Christine, I don't mean to interrupt. This is Terry Ann. So if you disappear, if you click on the box where you do appear on the top, and there are 3 dots, you'll see 3 dots, and then it says pin video, and it will pin your video to the main part of the screen.
I am pinned already. I thought I was. Hold on. I thought I was already pinned. Yeah, I am pinned already.
Okay, I had to pin you. Otherwise, when anyone else talked, it went to them.
Oh, so maybe I'm pinned on my end. So when someone else talks, I don't see anybody pop up. So maybe you guys have to pin my video on your end too. I think
that's what I did.
Yeah. So that makes total sense. So explain that again.
Okay, so when someone else is talking and you kind of disappear into one of the small boxes, if you go to that box, with your cursor,
my box with my picture on it, right?
Right. With your picture, there's 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm using a PC, so I don't know if it shows the same way in others. If you click on the box with the 3 dots, it opens up a menu, and one of the items on there is pin video.
It works for me.
Yeah, it's working. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. So I didn't see. I know.
Yeah, I went to my name and did the pin, and all my pictures just popped up. I said, "Oh wait, I'm doing something wrong."
Oh. See, I knew that I always pin my video on my end, but I didn't know that you could pin it on your end. That's awesome. I never knew that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to now. Why couldn't they have told me that at Zoom? My gosh, how many times I've called them. So, but the thing of it is, though, too, I think for purposes of the final video that I upload to YouTube, when somebody else is talking, it still shows their screen. Or if, like I said, if they have their webcam on, it'll show them. If they don't have their webcam on, it's like a black screen with a camera with a line through it. So, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But thank you for that. So here's my last bow on the outside, my last ribbon tail. This is a time-consuming process because I'm totally OCD about my ribbon. I like them to look pretty. And I like them to be even, and yeah, I know. But see what I mean? Hold on a minute here. Let me try to hold them up without messing them up. You can see how all the ribbon on the outside is like framing. You can't really see because there's arms and legs sticking out, but see how pretty all that ribbon looks on the outside? I just love that. That's why I always put ribbon around the outside first.
That's really nice.
Yes, I love that.
That's pretty. I'm glad you showed that because I couldn't figure out how to make those bows.
Oh, it's so easy. You'll get the hang of it.
I do hair bows, but I can't make those bows.
You can do it when your ends are dovetailed, but it's just not as easy. It's easier when your ends are straight. Look how cute. And like I said, if you want your gingerbread boy to be a gingerbread girl, if you want to maybe make a look, you could even do a little bow tie. Hold on a second here. Like
Actually, I watched a video with Lori Jacobs about a month ago, doing the same one. And she put the bow tie just above the head so that it fell, not the bow tie, the bow, so that it fell right on top of her head.
Ah, so you could even do one of these little numbers with this and just sort of like, I gotta hold it up so you can see. I'd probably have to glue it on, and you can just kind of like stick it on the side of, yeah, if you wanted to make a little girl.
Looks like
I'm not gonna try that right now though, because I don't have another piece that's not dovetailed. See, it's so hard for me because I'm looking at my laptop and then I'm trying to hold my bow. But again, just like I said, make a little tiny bow, and you probably have to glue it. I love Lori. She's one of my best friends, by the way.
I like watching her too.
Yep, I love her. She's awesome. Every time I pop on one of her lives, she always says the same thing. Christina, I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing? And we always say the same thing. Busy. We're busy. We're all busy. Okay. So let me see. I do have a pipe cleaner here that I was able to dig out. I might put some ribbon there. I don't know though. I don't really think I need any ribbon on the inside because there's so much going on. Let me think for a second here. What else do I have? I have a bunch of embellishments over here. You know what I could actually do? Maybe I'll just take one of these and put this there because I want to use these. These again are at Hobby Lobby. There was 3 of these. They come in a long stem and I just clipped it off. But because I have my pipe cleaner sticking out here, what I can actually do is use that to secure this little piece, because I'll tell you something, I don't like to use hot glue unless I absolutely have to, because it's just messy in my opinion. I'm just going to kind of wrap the pipe cleaner around this little embellishment thing and then tuck it around just like that. So we're going to put that there instead of the ribbon. I think that looks super cute, this little candy. Now we've got I've got my lollipops. Now I wanted to show you guys something real quick, because when I discovered that I didn't have, like I said, I went and I totally cleaned out Hobby Lobby a few months ago for the kits, and I cleaned all the lollipops out. But the ones that I put in the kits were smaller than these. They were probably maybe like that. So I don't know if these are going to be too big, but I do want to use them. And I want to kind of make it look like he's holding them. So you have such a long stick. So a lot of times I want to put glue on it, but first I'm going to stick it in and see if I like the way it's positioned. I want to try, like I said, I want to try to make it look like he's holding it. But I don't want to, I want my bows to show too. So hold on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I'm not going to be able to have my bows show and make it look like he's holding it. Make it look like he's holding it at the same time. So hold on. Unless I do it like that, but I don't want to cover up his little arms. See, these are really big lollipops. The ones that I put with the kits were a lot smaller. I think these might be a little bit too big. I don't really want to cover up his hand. If I put that in there, it's going to totally cover up his hand, and I don't want to do that. And I wanted to show you what else I had. So, but the lollipops that you guys got with the kits, I think are going to work a lot better because they're smaller. And I don't have any, like I said, because I ended up putting them all in the kits, and then I didn't have any left for myself. Now, if I wanted to do that, that might work. But it doesn't really look like he's holding it. And I kind of wanted to make it look like he's holding it. So I don't know if I'm going to use these. These are kind of big. But I want to show you something else cute that I got, that I ordered. These are from my friend Shelly B. at Shelly B Home and Holiday. And she's got a website. She's got a Facebook page, Shelly B, SHELLEY B, Home and Holiday. And there's these little cute candy cane ornaments. And there's actually 4 of them that came. I think they're clay. There's 4 of them that came in the order. So I actually think these might work a little bit better as far as size. I think I might try to use these. They're a little bit heavy though. Let me see. Because if I really want to make it look like he's holding them, but I don't know. If I really want to glue it right to his hand. And again, these are kind of heavy and they're also really small. So I have some lollipops that are way too big and I have some that are too small. Hold on a second here. You guys are going to kill me. I really like these though. I'm going to cut this off a little bit because I really want to try to use these. Bear with me, folks. I just don't think I'm going to be able to have my bow show. That's all on my lollipop. That's okay. I really, really like these. And I want to use them. So I'm not gluing them in right now. I'm just sort of like placing them. I don't know where the heck that just went. That just flew across the room. It flew across the room. There, I like that. I want to use these. I like these better. The other ones are way too small. We'll find another use for those. And I'll probably glue those in. What do you think?
Very nice.
I like those. Do you think they're too big?
I
No,
like
I don't. I think they're good.
Yeah, I do too. I like those. So we'll glue those in after. And let's see. What else do we got here? This is where you can kind of have fun. There's no set rule as to what you can add for embellishments. I'm just plugging my glue gun in because I want to see what else I can throw in here. You know, last year at Hobby Lobby, they had really cute little gingerbread picks. They don't have them this year. I was so disappointed. I also got these candy canes too, but I don't think I'm going to use these here. I might use these in the candy cane wreath. These came from Hobby Lobby too. Aren't they super cute? Really cute. I mean, he could have even been like holding the candy canes if you wanted to do that. That would be cute too. I'm going to use these though. I like these. I really like these. Maybe we'll stick another one over here. Keep his leg moved over. I don't want his leg, the top of his leg to show. I'm not gluing them in yet. I'm going to put another one over here. Sorry, my big head's in the way. Like I said, if you have some pipe cleaner showing, sorry about my head, if you have some pipe cleaner showing, you can kind of just cut them off or just tuck them around behind. There. We're getting there, ladies. God, it's so dark out already. What time is it? Oh, 6:45. Wow. Class went by fast. Class went by fast. Put that there, and let's see where I want to put this one. I'll put this one maybe up here somewhere. And I don't think I'm going to add any more because there's a lot going on here. I don't want to go too crazy. I'll just put that one up there. What do you think? Typically, I end up moving stuff around after class. I look at it, I hang it on the wall, and I look at it, and I'm like, I'm going to move some stuff around. But I think that looks really cute.
It does. I love it. I ordered from Hand CC.
What's that?
I've ordered 2 gingers from Hand Painted CC.
Uh-huh.
You've heard of them?
No.
She's on Facebook. She made wooden gingers, and they're in the States.
And what are they called? What is she called?
They're gingers.
But what is the name of the business?
Hand Painted CNC.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
Let me double check it. I know it's hand painted.
So I had a bunch of other stuff here that I don't think I'm gonna use. I had my little cookie sheet with my gingerbread on it, which is super cute. I'll just hang that on my tree. And these from Hobby Lobby as well. They're very light. But I got a lot of stuff going on here. I don't want to add anything else. We have a lot of stuff here. So I might even take this one off up here. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to hang it on my wall and I'm going to look at it. But isn't that super cute, ladies?
It is.
Very.
I think it's going to lay a little bit flatter. It doesn't want to lay flat for me. Hold on. It's not laying the way I want it to. There. So cute.
That is cute.
I know, I get excited. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off, I think. It's almost 7 o'clock here. I need to get some dinner. The video will be ready. I'm going to try to get it uploaded to YouTube tonight, and then I can email it to everybody. If not, it'll be first thing in the morning.
Oh, Christina?
Yeah?
I want to say thank you for that post that you put on for the Christmas mesh wreath that you put on for December of last year. It was the one using the 21-inch
spiral.
Oh,
yeah. You know what? That's the method I was talking about, you guys, at the beginning of class. Yep, I did post that free video.
Well,
that
I
was
can't wait to try it.
Oh my God, you're gonna love it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yay! All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me, Kathy. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Terry, I have all the new people here and all the people that have been here before. We have another class tomorrow, so I got some catching up to do here.
Great fun.
Good night,
I get to go to
everybody.
work on mine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Right.
Good night.